well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show this week. And as always, I'm your host, David Burrows. Another fantastic week has gone by and never lack of anything to do here in Sarnia Lambton. Hope you got out and had some fun over the weekend because you work hard all week, right? Monday's my favorite day of the week. I know I repeat myself, but it's my favorite day of the week because I get to do my live show and I get to talk to some great people who are doing some cool, fun, and great things in our community here of Sarnia Lambton. So I hope you're able to get out and enjoy this great community that we have here ourselves. Have you started yet? You know what I'm talking about? You know, that Christmas shopping thing. Have you started that yet? Christmas is fun. I like Christmas. You know, I hear some of you out there, bah humbug. I feel bad for you. It's such a beautiful time of year. And I've said it before, and somebody ran into me the other day and they said, what was that thing you said about Christmas? It's the one time of year you can be nice to people and they won't accusing you of having a reason for being nice to them. If I do something nice for you in July, you'd be like, what do you want? Right? But now if I do something nice for you, you go, oh, it's Christmas. I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy. Pardon me, I think I'm coming down with something while I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the holidays. We're taking a holiday coming up. Looking forward to that. Haven't been away in a while, so looking forward to that. Did you get out to see the Sarnia Sting? Are you a Sting fan, hockey fans, right? Enjoying Sting hockey? They've really had quite a year. It's been a roller coaster of a ride for the Sarnia Sting. Up and down, back and forth. Recently, though, against the Kingston Frontenacs, this was the teddy bear toss, right? The teddy bear toss was a successful teddy bear toss in the sense that it was 3,910 teddy bears were collected at this year's teddy bear toss with the support of Lambton Ford in there. And boy, if they got a system down, like those teddy bears go flying and they clean them up pretty quick. So way to go to the Sarnia Sting, Lambton Ford, and you, the Sarnia community who were there. 3,910 teddy bears tossed into the arena. Unfortunately, it was not a victory for the Sarnia Sting that way as far as goals go. It was 7-5 was the final score. And post-game, though, we did get to talk with Jamison Reese, who was the scorer for he got the first goal that made all the teddy bears go flying. And it's really quite a sight to see. I should have had the video up here. I did get a video, but it's on my Facebook page. You can see the video of all the teddy bears being tossed in there. But Jamison Reese, he got the goal for us to make the teddy bears fly. And we spoke to him after the game. We're going to go talk to him. We'll show you that interview right now. Take a look.
Here post-game with Jamison Reese, you got the teddy bear toss goal here. Obviously not the result you guys wanted, but take us through that goal and what it was like after you put that puck in the net and saw the Bears start to come.
Well, I mean, I just went out and I kind of got us up on the defenseman, and Ruzicka had the puck, so I decided just to keep going, and he gave me a nice pass, and I went in and I just made a quick move and then put it in the empty net.
Always a great feeling scoring a goal, but a little more special for that one?
Oh yeah, for sure, especially being the teddy bear toss goal. But for me, that was my first goal since I've been back in the lineup, so definitely a big one for me.
Any competition in the locker room for who was going to get the first goal tonight?
Yeah, for sure, but you can't let it affect the way we play. Like, we just gotta go out there and play the way that we usually play.
You guys have played a lot of hockey lately. That's your third game in 2.5 nights. The last two games against Windsor, emotional games for you guys. Little tired out there this afternoon for this game, or was it just a case where it was one of those games?
I would say a little bit of both, but I mean, obviously that's not our best effort, but we just got to put it behind us now. What's done is done.
You mentioned that's first goal back since coming back from injury. How nice is it to get that out of the way?
For sure, it was a good feeling, for sure.
Been in a few of these games lately where the team's kind of going back and forth. What is it like as a player out there at a night like that?
It's kind of a roller coaster, but if they scored, you can't let it affect you, and you just got to keep playing your game. as much as we've been scoring, I don't think scoring's we just keep scoring, so that's good. And if they score, we can't let it affect us. We just got to keep going forward and don't get down ourselves. If you notice the players down, lift them back up, do whatever you can to keep everybody positive.
And of course, midweek game coming up on Wednesday against the Knights. What do you guys got to do there?
We just got to play our game, grind them down. They're a skilled team, but I think if we use our speed and we play the right way, we'll be fine.
All right, Jameson Reese once again getting the teddy bear toss goal for the Sarnia Sting, but unfortunately falling to Kingston in the end. Final score of 7-5. But notably earlier this week, this was 3 back-to-back games for the Sarnia Sting. They were down on Windsor on Thursday, and they won that game against Windsor in overtime. Final score there 5-4, and then they came back here on Friday night, pardon me, and played Windsor again and beat them with a whopping score 5-1 final there. So they do have it in them. Ethan Langovin's been playing quite well in between the pipes for the Sarnia Sting. We did talk to him post-game on Friday night, and we'll post that on our Facebook page for you to watch and enjoy as well. Ethan Langovin doing very well for the Sarnia Sting, and congratulations again to Jameson Reese for the teddy bear toss goal. I'll be back there on Wednesday. It's the Battle of the 402 continuing, as Sarnia Sting will play host to the London Knights on Wednesday, December the 12th, coming up this week. And we'll have all that coverage as per normal for you as well. Actually, going to have some special guests looking after the broadcast for me this week. Keep an eye out for that. All right, well, as I said, 'tis the season. Do you believe in Santa Claus? Careful. It's a rule in my house. You continue to believe in Santa Claus. And sometimes people forget the magic of Christmas. And if maybe you've lost some of that magic about Christmas, you need to go to the Nightingale's Chorus. You need to see Elizabeth's Wish. Elizabeth, who is around a bunch of people who maybe have forgotten about the Christmas spirit, but she works hard at reminding them. The Nightingale Chorus has been on for several years now. Carrie Beauchamp and her team of performers and backstage hands and musicians. It is a beautiful performance. If you've never seen it, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I've got some tickets. I've got 2 pairs of tickets I'm going to be giving away to see Elizabeth's Wish. These are very hard to get tickets. I think they're almost sold out. But I got 4 of them that I'm going to be giving away. So keep an eye on the Facebook page later today and tomorrow for your chance to win those tickets to go see Elizabeth's Wish. And you can also just go down to imperialtheater.net to purchase your tickets online, or just pay them a visit down to the box office. They're open from 11 to 5 throughout the week. So Elizabeth's Wish, Nightingale Chorus, I'll be there. Looking forward to it. Pardon me, I think I am getting that cold. If you're a fan of, the blues, Rob Sharp and Little Chicago going to be performing at Theater 42. If you haven't heard of Theater 42 yet, it's right at the corner of Divine and Indian. It's the old 914 Union Hall, or it's the Belfour, or Unifor, Union Hall. There's a theater in there. That's right. Local group of folks got together and decided we're going to do our own theater thing. And it's fantastic in there. They've done a fantastic job of creating a beautiful stage and lighting and everything. All state-of-the-art technology in there to put on these great performances. And Rob Sharp and Little Chicago going to be there this Saturday night. You can get your tickets by going to Theater 42's Facebook page, and there's a link there for you. Have some information on getting those tickets. So Rob Sharp and Little Chicago. I can't be there for that one, but I'd like to be. It's a good one. New Year's Eve, do you have any plans for that yet? We had Michael Hurry here from Big Brothers last week join us to talk about this. Is the first time they're putting on their New Year's Eve gala. It's going to be at the Tiernay Club, so it's going to be fantastic food, and they're having a DJ and celebrating 2019. Do you have plans for 2019? Yeah, this is a good one, and it supports Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in Sarnia Lambton. And again, we'll be posting all these links and all these posters after the show, so you can get all the information to find out get the information for these things that I talk about here, right? Okay. So Big Brothers, Big Sister, their New Year's Eve gala coming up. Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. Do you know that song? I love ABBA. I think ABBA is a fantastic group. I wish I could have ever seen them live. But this is the next best thing. Mamma Mia is coming to Petrolia on behalf of the Petrolia Lions Club in March. Yes, I've been talking about it every week because I know of this group. I have seen this group. They are fantastic. You will think that Abbott is up on that stage. I kid you not. So get your tickets early for that. And, of course, it supports the Petrolia Lions. Sorry, I'm having a hard time today. Petrolia Lions, and they do a lot for their community out in Petrolia as well. So Mamma Mia coming to Petrolia in March. I'm definitely going to be there for that. Listen, let's talk about the United Way for a few moments. We have our friend Dave Brown, who joins us every month here to give us an update on what they're doing in the community to raise money. Their campaign goal, pardon me, was announced at the beginning of the hockey season. $2 million is what they're looking for. And they're coming up short this year. They're about $400,000 short of their goal that they're trying to reach. Their deadline is in the next 2 weeks. So anything you can do to help, any little bit. The United Way supports 19 agencies in Sarnia Lambton that provides about 34 services between those agencies, including Big Brothers Big Sisters and several others. And it's important to have these because I'll point out, or as Michael Hurry pointed out last week, Big Brothers Big Sisters does not get any support from the government. Not all of these groups get support from the government. So they need things like the United Way to raise this money to help support those much needed services that happen in our community. Now, I know you can't give to everything, but I would strongly encourage you to take a moment and give what you can to the United Way. They need to raise $2 million. They're $400,000 short of that. All of the money that is raised by United Way of Sarnia Lambton stays right here in Sarnia Lambton. It doesn't go anywhere else. So you're supporting local. It's staying local. It's good local stuff. All right. So consider supporting United Way and helping them reach their $2 million goal. Lots of people, this is a giving time of year, right? Jake Chersky was here talking to us last week, so I just wanted to give a reminder about his hometown huddle that him and the Sarnia Imperial football team are collecting hygiene products. I think a lot of time we like to give food. You know, the Good Shepherd has food shelter, and River City has food shelter. But I think we forget about the toothbrushes and a hairbrush and a comb and shampoo and soap. These things are not cheap either. I don't do the groceries in my house, but my wife reminds me of how expensive those things are. Probably things that you and I take for granted. So the hometown huddle is looking for your support. They've already had great success with it, but if you're out and about and you're buying some shampoo and just any of that hygiene product stuff, you know, deodorant and say hairbrushes, etc. The hometown huddle is down at Philly Cheese Jake's, which is 988 Confed. You can drop off your donation in there. And Jake and the Sarnia Imperial football team are going to be donating that to the River City Vineyard, as I mentioned a few moments ago, to their shelter, and also to the Women's Interval Home. So what a great idea. And Jake Chersky, as I said, was here last week, and they're looking for your support. So again, you can drop those off down at Philly Cheese Jake's, just over at Confed and Lansdowne. Pardon me, Confed and Lansdowne is where Jake's at. So anything there would be greatly appreciated. All right. Well, 'tis the season, as I said. Lots of just art and knickknacks, and shopping can be fun even at this time of year. There's so many cool things. I was walking through the mall the other day, and you know that they always get all these cool toys that you'd never see any other time of year, but they're selling them and stuff. And my son and I were in there the other day, and it was like through the glass. I felt like I was in a Christmas movie, and we're staring through the glass at this little train that was going around and around. Big kid, little kid, right? So Christmas can be fun. And ARTOPIA Gallery and Framing wants you to come down and have Christmas on the corner. What's that all about? Well, that's my first guest that is joining me, Corinne Schieman. I think I say your last name right. Here she comes. Hello, Corinne. How do you say your last name?
Hello, David Burrows. Corinne Schieman.
Schieman. Okay.
Schieman, yes.
You're a schemer.
I am. Look out.
Thanks for joining me here today. This sounds like a lot of fun, this Christmas on the corner. But before we get into the details, tell everybody who you are, and you're the owner of ARTOPIA.
I am Corinne Schieman. I'm the owner of ARTOPIA. I've been in business, I would say, going on 20 years. Involved in Art Walk First Friday. And I'd like to give back to the community and set up a giving tree this corner or this Christmas on the corner,
Right.
along with all the festivities that will be going on in the shops.
So
Yeah.
Christmas, is this the first year you've done this, or?
Well, we just came up with the idea the beginning of last week. I know
Oh, wow.
that Point Edward always has a celebration down in the Point, and I thought, well, downtown needs it, so we're starting it on this corner, and hopefully by next year, all the other merchants will be involved.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So where's this, where, tell everybody where you're located exactly.
I'm at 188 Christina Street North, the corner of Lockheil and Christina beside Moran Fashion.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
what kind of things are we going to see down there from all these different vendors? These are all different vendors, or?
Well, you can see the list of merchants on your screen there, correct?
Yeah. Here,
Yeah.
We'll make that large.
So those are all the shops that are involved. And for instance, Lilith will be giving up to 70% off. Sean Ryan Realty will be doing photographs with Santa. And Artopia will be giving 50% off on functional pottery. And also we will be serving special coffee and desserts.
Special coffee and desserts.
Special coffee just for you.
There's going to be something involved there that I might, that I like.
You know, just a little whipped cream and some sprinkles.
That's part of Christmas I like. You don't get that kind of stuff all year, right?
No.
You know, I
We'll
like
have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what a
Yeah.
great idea. So how did this come about? Like you say you just brought it about in like a week. So did you just bump into each
it's
other and say,
just-
let's do this?
No, you know what? This time of year, our heart goes out, you know, to others that are less fortunate.
Yeah.
So between this corner, we all had a huddle, and we are getting a tree donated from Lambton Elderly Outreach, which will
Nice.
be on the corner. And we're going to decorate it with hat, mitts, scarves, socks, gloves, non-perishable items. All the businesses are getting involved, and we're hoping that
Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, are you still there?
Oh, you're kind of frozen there for a minute.
Hello?
Still there?
Oh, where did we leave off? I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I think your internet's a little choppy there.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Where did we leave off? Did we leave off about the community?
The corner. Yeah, you're gonna put all the non-perishables on decorate the tree.
Yes. And the entire community is more than welcome to come and donate non-perishable.
Okay, so where do they just come down to you at Artopia and drop those off, or?
There'll be someone out on the corner by the tree, but if they prefer to bring non-perishables before Saturday, they can drop off at any one of these businesses.
Okay, fantastic. So this is this Saturday.
Water tattoo around Junior Bake. This
Okay,
Saturday.
you're all broken up there, Corinne. So I'll put it out there for you.
Okay. Am I better now? Is it better now?
I think it seems to be better when you're not moving.
I have a hard time with that. Okay, I'll stay still.
So this Saturday, December the 15th, and it starts at 10 o'clock, goes till 4.
10 to 4.
So is this something you're looking at probably doing every year then?
Absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
help out the ones that are in need and anybody else in between. Yeah.
Perfect. And then do a little shopping at the same time. Why not?
Yeah, why not, right?
Perfect.
The idea of the other group that's doing hygiene, packages for hygiene,
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
like to drop. He's cutting in and out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to let you go, but I think you were asking about the hometown huddle that I was talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that.
That's okay, Corinne. I'm going to let you go, but thanks so much for joining me, and we'll let everybody know.
Okay.
We'll share the word and we'll share the love around.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Corinne. Corinne Schieman from ARTOPIA Gallery and Framing. They're in downtown Sarnia. What a great idea! Christmas on the corner. So they're going to be hanging these non-perishables on the tree. It's really good to see this. Like I say, I was just talking about the hometown huddle, and now this Christmas on the corner. I think this is a part of the giving. You know, like I say, we tend to think to give a lot of food, but these are other things, and they're expensive things, right? So get down there this Saturday from 10 until 4 in the afternoon. Christmas on the corner with all those great local businesses. So, hey, you're giving and supporting local. What a great Christmas idea. Thanks, Corinne, for joining us, and we'll make sure that we post this on our Facebook page after the show. All right. Well, you got to have the music, right? You can't have Christmas without the music, and music is what this guy's been doing. I've known him a really long time. He's probably known me longer than I've known him. We're going to bring him on right now. John Tiernay, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Are you reading me okay?
Oh, we read you loud and clear.
Great. Everything's fine then.
Yeah. You're a busy guy with this music, you know, like you've been playing for a lot of years, I know, but you just don't seem to be slowing down at all with Borderlite / Borderline.
Yeah, we some years ago decided, in fact, I think it was back when you and I were more engaged with music at a local establishment, we decided to branch off and form the trio.
Yeah.
You know, to cover some of those smaller gigs that people don't, you know, either the budget doesn't afford it or the room is, you know, considerably smaller. So we've had the trio going for quite a while now, and our full four piece is going as well. So we have Borderline and Borderlite, and we like to refer to Borderlite as the same great music but less filling.
That's awesome.
That's my little humor for the day.
Well, and you know, that just says to the fun that you guys, that's the humor that you guys have a lot of fun doing this, right?
Yes, we do.
This is just really your passion. I mean, you're all retired, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've been very lucky that way to have four guys that are, you know, moving up and not getting any younger, but still having a great time and loving it. So
yeah, well, and you're popular. Like you guys are busy. Like I know, like just this past Saturday, and I was trying to get down there to McCarthy's because I knew it would be a lot of fun. Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, it was a great night. Of course, it was Bruce Dean, who has recently joined us, the full band and the trio.
Yeah.
Due to some issues or problems of health with one of our players. Right. So he has this annual birthday bash, and he invites just about anybody and everybody. So we played a couple of sets, but we had a lot of guest artists too, and it was a great time. Yeah, just a lot of fun.
I wanted to get down there so bad because I knew you guys were going to be there, and I wanted to see Bruce and I know Ronnie Frey was there, right?
Yeah, Ronnie did a great job. He did a set.
Did he get up?
Yeah, he did, and he was sounding terrific, I tell you.
Did he yodel?
Didn't do any yodeling.
No.
But the stuff he did was solid, and yeah, it was really nice to have him up.
Yeah. That's a classic. He's a living legend around here.
He is, for sure. When you were talking about being busy, yeah, we just a little bit of a profile. So last year we did 125 gigs, believe it or not. And this year we're just under 90. So
wow.
Yeah, we're still going strong.
Yeah. What is it you think about? I mean, I know you guys, the talent's there, that's obvious, but what do you think it is about Borderlite and Borderline that just makes you guys so popular?
Yeah, we talk about this every now and then. I'll be the first to admit we're not the most talented group, honestly, as far as instrumentalists go. But somehow the combination works well. We get along well with each other, which is remarkable for people who've been that long
that shows
together.
too.
Yeah. Like I started with the band in its original form in the early 80s. So that's telling you something, yeah. But I think our biggest attraction is the fact that we can play such a broad spectrum of music and do all of it reasonably well. We don't try anything that's over our heads as far as talent goes, but we seem to be able to strike that balance. You know, we can go back, do everything from classic country right up to modern pop. So like we're doing songs by Waylon Jennings or Hank Snow, and then we'll end the night with Ed Sheeran. So it's pretty broad. We can cover an audience.
Eclectic is the word I like to use.
Yeah, you tapped us with that quite a number of years ago, and it's kind of stuck. So I like that. I don't take that as an offense at all. I really think that's probably a very good description of us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, I think what I've seen with you guys is, well, the fun aspect, like I said, you know, your sense of humor is that you can just tell the humor is in there because you guys are having fun. And if somebody misses a beat or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just keep going. And but I think the song selection that you guys must have a hard time picking songs.
Yeah, we do. We've got probably, I know I've got a master set list that we choose from for regular gigs, and it's around 150 songs. Now, nobody can play 150 songs in a night. So, you know, you got to pare that down to about, if it's a 3-set night, you're paring that down to maybe 3 sets of 15 or 16. Yeah. So, you know, we're doing well to get 48 songs out. So that's maybe a third of what's on the list. So really what we do is watch the audience, see what groove they're in, and then we'll tailor it, you know, from there on in. So we don't have to stick to a set list. We can move around, and all of us are watching and sort of feeding back to each other. Hey, let's go with this one. Let's go with that one. It's kind of a rule of thumb that we're watching and seeing what works, what fills the dance floor. And we ask for requests basically too. So we'll say, hey, anybody wants to hear something? If we don't have your tune, maybe we got something close to it. At least it gives us an idea. So.
Yeah, well, I think that's an important factor for a band because, I'll say it, a lot of bands don't. They learn their set list and that's what they know. And I mean, you know, not to say you can't improvise, but I don't think a lot of bands know 150 songs.
Yeah,
and it's hard to go up to a band and say, hey, can you play this one? And a lot of times you might hear the band say, well, no, we don't do that one. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a DJ where you can just request a song. I get that. But when you've got 150 songs in your pocket, and I've seen you guys wing it too. I've seen you guys go, how does that go?
Yeah. It's sometimes like stump the band. We'll say, okay, well, you really want to hear it. We think we know a verse and the chorus. So if you don't mind us doing 3 verses the same and 2 choruses, we'll go with it. And generally, you know, the audience is the most forgiving. We're probably harder on ourselves than any audience would ever be.
Right. Well, I think you have to be, right? Because that's probably a part of what makes you guys so great at what you're doing out there, because you're having fun and you're pleasing the crowd. And at the end of the night, I know I've talked to you sometimes at the end of a show and you're like, you know, they just had fun. That's great. What a great crowd, right? And,
I think that one of the things, at least at our point in our lives, is we don't take ourselves too seriously. So if you get too serious about it, you know, everything has to be perfection. Well, then you'll probably never play because you're always practicing and just trying to get it right. So
right. Yeah. Now, what about the wives? Where are they in all of this?
They come out quite often. Obviously, they're not going to come out 90 times.
No, they get sick of you.
Yeah, exactly. You know that 150 songs? That's way too short for them.
Right.
We'd have to have like 3 times that on the list before they'd be happy. No, they'll come to some of the major ones. Like quite often, we play for a lot of dances, and they'll come to some of those. We've done weddings, we've done anniversaries. This is all this past year, but this is kind of what keeps us going. Some restaurants and private parties, getting to be very popular private party deal, both indoors and outdoors. Restaurants, and I guess the dances are probably our major clientele is for people who want to dance, because that's one of the things that people often say is like, we really like the way you guys set up the rhythm. It's danceable, and you mix it around so we get some slow, some fast, some half-assed, generally satisfies everyone. So the girls are pretty good about it.
Speaking of that too, the dances, like you guys play the Navy Club. Like I remember, I think it was last year, Jennifer and I came in there on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And there was 150 people in there.
Yeah, they can pack that place.
I was like, it's a Sunday night. And it's only $5.
It's the best. Yeah, I was going to say it's the best deal in town for $5. You can't go wrong, even if you only stay for 20 minutes.
Right. Well, and I remember going there and being quite impressed by that. Going, wow, look at this place on a Sunday night. At 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But that was one thing that Jennifer and I talked about. We noticed was that I said, now look at this group. They're dancing. And when the song's over, they don't go and sit back down. They're waiting for the next song, and you can see them sort of tap their feet and go, "Oh yeah, okay, we're doing this one," and away they go again. Yeah, and I think that's a lost art.
It's a challenge playing that hall, because the people that come there, they come for one thing. That's to dance. Yeah, and you're right. If they're on the dance floor, you better be on your toes as a band, and you better be right into the next number. Or they're gonna clear the floor and let you know that they weren't pleased. Yeah. No,
we had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and you could just feel the good vibe in the room.
Yeah, and the people that are running that the RCNA Club of Sarnia, John and Cindy, just great people to work with. They're really super people, and they work so hard to get that thing going and keep it going. And at $5 a couple, there's not a lot of room for profit taking in there. So
it's $5 a couple?
No, $5 a person. Sorry,
person. Oh, I was going to say, wow.
Yeah.
Careful.
This coming Sunday is actually their Christmas party. So they've raised it $5, and you come at 6 o'clock instead of 7 or maybe 5:30. You're going to get a full turkey dinner, and then the dance for $10. The whole thing, $10.
That's this Sunday?
Yeah, unfortunately, I believe it's sold out. But if anyone is out there listening and still wants to give it a try. Well, you said turkey,
I was in.
Yeah. Yeah, right on.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, we're doing those monthly now, and we're booked for next year on the same basis. So once a month we'll be there. God willing, everything else goes well.
Yeah, and it's kind of a hidden gem, that Navy Club.
Yeah, they've worked hard at getting it going, and it's going strong now. So more and more groups are getting to play there, and it's like I said, it's an odd night, Sunday night, but the crowd is quite varied. It'll go from folks that are well into their 80s, I will say,
right,
to people who are in their late 30s, early 40s. There's a lot of single people out there, people who are on their own, who really enjoy the camaraderie, and you can go there and dance. It's not a singles club, so there's no, issue with that. You just show up, everyone's welcome. And, a lot of single women go there simply because of they're elderly to some extent, and their spouses are moved on or passed on, so they help each other out. The ladies will get up and do line dancing together, so everybody shares it. I really quite enjoy watching them because they're very helpful with each other, and yet they don't know each other other than from the being there together.
Right. Well, that's good to hear, because my Alexa, she thinks I'm talking to her. I got to mute her.
Okay.
It's really good to hear that, because things like Navy clubs, and I used to be a member of the Air Force Club years ago.
Yeah.
And legions, they're kind of a forgotten thing,
Yeah.
Well, I guess because people who were part of those clubs are getting much older now.
Yeah, they've been having trouble. Like most people know, the Legions are having trouble getting membership, but they've opened the doors there a lot. And that's another venue we play 2 or 3 times a year, is First Fridays at the Sarnia Legion. And they have a great crowd there, and they don't charge a cent to come in.
Yeah, it's packed in there on a first Friday.
Yeah, oh yeah. I dropped in this past Friday after we had a Friday gig of our own. It was a private deal. And we got out of there around 11. I said, I'm going to stop by and watch the casuals as Bob Martin and his friends were playing.
Yep.
And that place was jammed.
Yeah.
Now, so they're doing things right.
Yeah. Well, it's like I say, it's good to see because, you talk about the Legions, like you keep seeing they keep closing a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're having that issue. And unfortunately, it's pardon the pun, but it's a dying breed, right? Because that's what's happening is people are getting too old. They can't get out or they're passing away. And my generation, maybe not even younger, they're not into it.
Yeah. To be fair, I think all service clubs are having the same problem in one way or another. I'm a member of the Lions Club in Petrolia. Great group of people, but we have trouble getting new membership. And, the regular memberships not getting any younger. So,
well, and that's what happens too, right, John? Is and it turns out it's probably the same 10 people putting things on all the time. And after a while, those 10 people are like, come on, I need help. Or
they get a little worn out, right?
Yeah. Well, I know I call him Mr. Wilson, right? MB Wilson. Yeah. He's always I see him at the hockey games but they're putting on shows, right? Like I was talking about Mamma Mia earlier coming in March, and they seem to recognize that we got to do some new creative, fresh stuff to make this happen. But the live entertainment factor, it never goes away.
No, they've had pretty good success with those shows. Like everything, there's kind of a cycle to them, so you got to kind of meter it. But they're getting back into it again for this coming year, and I'm sure we'll have a few good ones there. And other people are doing it too. So, people's dollars can only go so far from an entertainment point of view. So,
well, right. Yeah. What is that like? Let's talk business for a minute here.
Sure.
I always like to touch on are musicians underpaid?
Well, I won't make a direct statement to underpaid because that's all. It's a matter of where your head is relative. Now, if you're a working musician, someone who's making their living at it, I would definitely say, it's a struggle. Yeah. If you're someone like myself who's retired and doing this for fun and is taking care of, keeping my vehicle on the road maybe and purchasing some new instruments or getting some repaired, then I'm perfectly happy. But I will say that in the early 80s when I started playing here locally, the income per gig hasn't gone up that high.
It hasn't.
It hasn't kept up.
I don't think it has at all.
No, I mean, our rates are relatively low, I think, although we're trying to be competitive. We're certainly not trying to, drop the rates so that we get more jobs and other people then are overpriced, relatively speaking. Right. So we're trying to be fair that way to our fellow musicians. We're trying to keep our rates competitive, and we know that we're probably within the right notch of where we should be. Okay. And there's others who can make more of it. They're likely in a different class, in terms of what they can do and the audience they can attract and how much they can bring to, let's say if it's a show or something, right, where maybe it's a service club or another organization looking to make money, then you got to hope that you can bring in that crowd. So,
that's the thing. I think from the bar owner standpoint, I've been there. Mm-hmm. It's the almighty dollar, and your band will say, "Well, we'll bring a whole bunch of people." Well, I'll tell you what, you show me that. And I don't just mean on one night, because you can get all your moms and dads and friends and neighbors out one night, but you can't get them out every week.
That's right. That's an interesting comment.
Show me the money, but you show me. And I think it's important too that the bands, the entertainment has to not just rely on the bar to promote them. They need to promote themselves as well, and work at it. If you want to get paid the working rate, you got to work at it.
That's right. No, I'm glad you brought it up. Actually, it's something that I've spent a lot more focus on in the last, say, 10 years is marketing the band and recognizing that if we're going to go somewhere like a club, like recently we played the Twisted Arm.
Yeah.
Which it was fine, but it's a restaurant, and their whole business is putting seats in the chairs to order food.
Yeah,
It's not to bring high-priced, musicians in
that's
to
right.
keep them there for a drink or two, because that isn't going to pay the bill.
No.
So I fully understand the quandary they're in. They want people in the seats. They would like to bring them in, but I make a point of telling people who I approach around those, I can't guarantee a crowd. And
Well,
you
at
can
least
get,
you're being honest.
well, I have to be, because I say, look, I don't want you to book me on the basis that I'm going to fill the seats here. I don't know. I could be the best group in town, or I could be the lousiest group in town. And on any given night, either way, I could fill the place or lose it. It's almost a crapshoot as to how many people are going to show. The weather, the time of year, what else is going on in town, what the people feel like that night. They're all things that are way out of my control. It isn't like, oh, Borderline's playing, I got to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you make a good point there too, John, because, Saturday night, I had intended to go to McCarthy's.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were there, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to see John and the boys, and I haven't seen Ronnie Frey in a while, so I had my reasons for wanting to be there. It wasn't just because of that, but I got home, and I got here in the studio, and I'm like, well, I got a thing I got to get ready for tomorrow. And then, one thing leads to another, and you're like, oh, it's 11:30. Well, maybe I'll work another half an hour and then go. And then next thing you know, I'm not there.
Yeah. Life gets
There's no way you
could.
Right. So when bands they'd come in and say, well, I'll bring you a crowd. Don't tell me that.
No.
Just don't tell me that.
No.
Show me that.
Yeah. And there may be, like this, I think there are some groups around who can pull that off. I wouldn't say they're successful every time, but there's so much that's competing with your engagement that it's too hard to call. So I wouldn't want to lead someone on with the impression that we're going to do that. So, and I think the savvy owners know that.
Sure.
Really, I am going to have to take a chance here. I'm going to spend some dollars and see if it works. And sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't.
Well, and if you pay a band $400, let's go with the $100 rule, because that seems to be the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 4 guys in a band. So you got $400, and honestly, sometimes, that's another question I'll come to in a second. But $400, that bar has to ring about $1,200 or $1,300 to get that $400, because that $400 is just that's just profit gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
To make that back, you don't ring $400. You have to ring more than that to get that back. So now you're at $1,200. Now you want to make some money.
Yeah, right. I hope.
Like you got it back. Okay, good. Woohoo! Now, let's keep going. Right. So
can we go above that? Yeah. It's not an easy thing for a decision for any place to have live music.
Well, and I think maybe that's probably an advantage you have is maybe because if I was going to hire your band, I'd probably just be okay with Borderlite.
Yeah.
Because I know those 3 guys can pull it off about the same as, and I'm saving $100.
Yeah, exactly. and I'll be perfectly honest and say that's one of the motivators of having the trio, because we could do jobs we still want to play. I mean, that's our thing is not to make a ton of money. We'd like to be paid fairly, but we like to play. So if we can do 50% more work in a given year, I look at that as a big deal.
Yeah. You got a fan out there, Kelly Shoddy. I can never remember how to say his last name. Sorry, Kelly. He says, hey, John, I was the guy that put you on YouTube years ago and made you famous. Party in the Point. It was a hot summer beach that day. Had to be 110. Do you know what he's talking about?
I sure do. And I thank Kelly right now personally online, because that video he made has been used quite a bit, because people are saying, well, have you got any YouTube videos of yourself playing? I said, well, I got one that a fellow did anonymously, so to speak, because we weren't rehearsed or anything.
Oh, is that right?
He did it, and whatever he recorded it with sounded excellent. So
right on.
Fortunately, it's still available, and I point people to it because we haven't done any on our own. Like I guess we kind of dropped the ball in terms of marketing in that regard.
Right.
You know, I do lots of printed stuff, and I do Facebook, and I do an email blast for people who want to be friends of the band.
I'm glad I'm on that list.
Yeah. So you'll get those things almost weekly. Well, you will weekly during the summer months.
Yep.
And then we're going to go into our winter hibernation soon. So we'll take a little rest. But yeah, I do, Kelly. That was great. I remember that 100% because I still see it.
Perfect. Well, John, I always enjoy talking to you. We always have a good time when we chat. And I hope I can get out and see you guys somewhere time before Christmas. Before we wrap up, is there anything coming up you want to let everybody know about?
Yeah, I just mentioned a couple because we've already talked about the Navy Club, but this weekend also is going to be a Christmas dance at the Quality Inn.
Okay.
The motel there across from the courthouse. And tickets are $20 a head. I don't know if I can. You want me to say the phone number for messages?
You
or will it be
do
on
whatever
the
you want to
site?
do.
All right. Well, if anyone's interested in going, should be a good night. It's going to be 9 to 12. And you can call for tickets at 519-328-0241.
Perfect.
And that's open. That's what everyone's welcome. Anyone can come to that. Then we got the Navy Club on the Sunday night following, so that's the 16th. And the dinner tickets, I'm pretty sure, are all sold out. But if anyone wants to come just to the dance, 7 o'clock start, goes 7 to 11. So it's not a real late night, $5 at the door. And then the biggie coming up is the New Year's Eve celebration at the Sarnia Yacht Club. And that'll be $40 per person on Monday, December 31st, and it'll be a 9 to 1. And for anyone who'd be interested in attending that, it's a great party. We actually did it last year. We're kind of surprised in a way that we're doing it 2 years in a row, but nevertheless, they liked us and brought us back.
There you go.
Ticket information is 519-332-6779, extension 1. That is the Sarnia Yacht Club office here in town. It's only open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the week. At this time of year. So people
and then you're hopping on the motorcycle and going away?
Yeah, we've been going to Arizona for the last couple of years. You cheat though. We take the motorcycles down in a trailer.
Oh, come on. I was making you sound really like
yeah, I know.
Rebellish there.
Nice try.
John Tiernay, thank you so much. Say hi to the guys in the band, and hopefully we'll bump into each other for some cheer before Christmas.
I'm sure it will. And if we don't, you have a great Christmas and New Year's too, Dave.
Okay, John, take care.
Take care.
My friend John Tiernay, always enjoy chatting with him. We bump into each other once in a while, and the music is great. The humor is fun, and the dancing, yeah. And you just heard John talking about some of the events they got coming up, especially this Saturday, and then Sunday night at the Navy Club. I'm telling you, if you love to dance and you love the music, go out to one of these things at the Navy Club, especially with Borderlite. Okay, maybe I'm playing favorites here, but that's okay. It is a lot of fun, and it's only $5 on a Sunday night. I'm telling you, it's busy there. So thanks again, John. Merry Christmas to you and the family and the band as well. All right. Well, this is a topic we're going to get into next here that I've had this lady on here before, Liz Page from Clair Child Youth Services. The conversation with the words mental health comes up all the time. And I, for the longest time, have been a believer that's a very important conversation. We can never talk too much about mental health. And it's 1 in 5 that it's affecting. Now, when they say it's 1 in 5, it's 1 in 5 because that's the ones we know about. And I submit that it's probably higher than that because it's still not an easy thing to talk about. And it's affected in all ages, but our youth are highly affected. And something special has been happening. It's called Face Off for Mental Health. And my friend Liz here in the lobby, she's coming in to talk to us about this right now. Hey, Liz.
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
Great. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Yeah, you heard me sort of talking in the beginning there. This really is a conversation. And even when I do shows that don't, the topic isn't mental health, it sometimes just comes up anyway. Mm-hmm. And when you're sitting in a coffee shop or walking down the street, are we getting better at this conversation?
I'd like to think so. I think that people are definitely more open to having the conversation. I think years and years ago, people whispered the word, mental illness, kind of like they whisper cancer. um,
Right.
but I think that I think we're forced to have the conversation. And I think things like school and
Mhm.
community events, I think different people are getting more comfortable talking about it instead of just the people that are working in the business.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and St. Clair Child and Youth Services has done a fantastic job of opening the doors, if you will, to welcoming, I guess, is a good, because you got to feel welcome to have the conversation
For sure.
and
Absolutely.
and confidentiality and all that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think things like Face Off for Mental Health, they definitely are conversation starters. So,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little more comfortable to talk about an initiative like Face Off for Mental Health, and then that leads to a different conversation around people telling their stories, or somebody will come up and approach our table at an arena and kind of pick up a flyer, and before you know it, they're telling you their story and sort of how they ended up getting help or how they plan to get
Right.
help, and it's really gratifying to see that happening.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, like I said, it's important, and it's nice to, when I say like I'm hearing the conversation more and more and more, that's a good thing.
Yes.
That it comes up in one way. It's a good thing. What do you think? We still need to do more, though, right? And that's, I guess, part of what Face Off for Mental Health is. You're going into hockey groups with
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Talk about that is.
Well, we started with all ages. We talked to the little guys. We talked to the mites and the tykes, and we talked to the novice kids and the Adams and the Peewees and the Bantams and the midgets. We talked to all of them, and now we're expanding. The Legionnaires are doing their event this coming Thursday evening, so
Yeah.
trying to hit all those age groups, and it's a different message, of course, depending on the age group. For the younger kids, we try and talk about wellness and ways to promote mental wellness, approaching a trusted adult if you're having a hard time, those sorts of things. And with older kids, we talk about where to reach out when you're struggling and how to support your friends when you're struggling, and how to get comfortable talking about some of these things that are really, really tough to talk about, like suicide prevention.
Well, I like to say stomp the stigma.
Yes, I like that
Right?
too. I like
Stomp
that
the
too.
stigma, because it's I think and then I haven't taken a survey. You've probably got better stats on this than I do, but I think there is probably not one person that is not affected by mental health.
I would agree in some way, shape, or form. They say 1 in 5 are impacted by mental health, and I think it's 5 in 5, because even if it's
Yeah.
not you that's struggling, it could be your son or daughter, your best friend, your sister, your brother, your niece, your nephew. It really does impact everyone.
Yeah, right. I like that 5 and 5. I'm going to borrow that the next time I give a speech.
You're welcome to it.
Well, because great things happen. Face Off for Mental Health. I was involved with Sarnia Sings earlier this year.
I was there. It was amazing.
It was a fantastic turnout, and the stories. What is it when you're talking to the let's go with the young folks? Is there a common what's the word I'm looking for? Is there a common topic or subject that you hear back from that age group, or is it just all over the place?
I think a lot of young people today, we hear a lot from them around, they're struggling with anxiety. Some of them are struggling with getting to school and, feeling like they are succeeding. So that resiliency, like trying to build resiliency, is sort of, I guess, our goal. Definitely our goal is trying to build that, those coping strategies in, so that when they're having a tough time, they can push through and, bounce back.
Yeah, right. Now, Face Off for Mental Health, there's a bit of a story kind of on how that came about.
Yes.
And my understanding is that a hockey coach came in to you guys or whatever and said, I'm a coach. I don't know how to handle this, right?
Yeah, he reached out to Craig McKenzie, our director of operations, and he said to Craig, I have this player on my team who's having a really hard time, and want to help him, but I don't feel like I have the tools. I don't feel like I know what I should or shouldn't be saying. So it kind of sparked this idea around how do we equip our coaches of any sport, but we started with hockey. How do we give them the tools so that they can best support their players? And not that we expect them to, embark on a counseling relationship. It's more about
Right.
giving them the tools so that they know where to turn for help, what kind of resources they can offer, like Kids Help Phone, our agency website, those sorts of tools. We did a little bit of bench staff training with each organization, just really the sort of the fundamentals and the foundation, and encourage them to reach out to us if they needed more information or if they ever found themselves in a situation where they weren't sure what to do next.
Right. And this has really been embraced by the hockey community, like
Very
we see
much.
the Legionnaires, Sarnia Sting got involved, I think, as well, right?
That's right.
And
yeah, there's some plans in the works for, I think, in the new year, which is exciting. I don't know a lot of the details, but I'm excited that they're jumping on board. The Legionnaires supported it last year as well, and this coming Thursday night, they're playing the St. Mary's Lincolns at 7:10. It's also their Toss Your Woolies night, where you throw a hat and mitts or whatever you have on the ice
Yeah.
and collect it up, and they're donated to the St. Vincent de Paul or the Salvation Army. I'm not quite sure which organization, but a worthy organization.
yeah, for sure.
And both teams are going to tape their sticks green for mental health awareness, and they're going to. I think the announcer is going to make some announcements throughout the game about some helpful hints about mental health. And
Right.
Ashlyn's going to be there with her bracelets to sell Ashlyn's artwear.
Yep.
She's still plugging away at arenas every weekend selling the bracelets, and $5 from her sales go towards mental health, which is amazing. And we're doing a puck drop.
What's her name again?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I have heard about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, a young girl who has a passion and a story to share as well. She'd be a great person to have on your show sometime.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
I need you to send me her info.
Well, Nolene is her nana. And so Nolene has been supporting this initiative and has been instrumental in making sure that Ashlyn has the opportunity to be at arenas and helping her make the bracelets. And it's pretty incredible.
Isn't that interesting? And this is kind of a thing on, I guess, on how this affects. So I'm talking to you today. Of course, I've known you for a long time, but I mean, I was talking with Nolene the other day about something else, and then we got talking about this, and then I thought, well, I should have her back on. We'll talk about that. And now you're talking about Ashlyn. I guess my point is, it's everywhere.
It is
the circle, right? And like you say, the 5 and 5. What are the tools? Like you talk about, providing tools, but what can someone do? Do they just show up at Clair Child Youth Services, or what's the first step?
In order to get some information, you mean?
Well, I want help. I need to talk to somebody, or I'm, like you say, I'm somebody who maybe I have a son or a daughter, or maybe I deal with young folks.
Sure.
What's the first thing?
So our website has it's a great place to start, because it has everything on there as far as what programs we offer, how to contact our intake team, what days our walk-in clinics are. So our website is a really great place to start. Also, you can call our agency, and our intake team can walk you through what it looks like to begin the process of accessing service. Our walk-in clinics are every Tuesday from noon until 8. Our last appointment goes in at 6:30. They're every Thursday morning from 9 until 12, with our last appointment going in at 10:30, because they take about an hour and a half.
Right.
And your child or youth is seen that day by a social worker and a CYW. So two people who work together to provide narrative therapy. So you get a session of therapy that day, which is pretty incredible, because gone are the days where you waited 18 months to see someone. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because I think there's been a bit of a myth out in our community that
I agree.
There wasn't this access available, and it's
Yes.
been there for quite some time. And I'm an alumni from when I was a teenager. I remember Clair Child Youth Services on Ontario Street.
Yes.
So
You're dating yourself, Dave.
I am. And that was and for me, that was in the 80s, right? And what a different time we are in now. But this has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we're getting better at marketing ourselves as far as, a valuable resource in the community. And I feel like our profile is definitely shifting and becoming more visible in the community, which is important.
Yes.
You know, but I agree. There's still that myth. I still hear people say, "Oh, if you need counseling, there's a year wait." You know, and I'm quick to correct them and say, "No, actually, you know, if you come to walk-in clinic, you get seen that day, and
Yep.
from there, you know, we decide, do you need further services, and if you do, what does that look like, or was today enough, and you can go away and practice the strategies we've given you, and come back if you need to."
Yeah. I think it's a fantastic agency, and thanks to you and everybody there. I'm sure it's not an easy task what you do on some days, right?
We have a great team. We really do, and I feel like that's key. You know, there's been a lot of change becoming the lead agency, and our team has really pulled together and embraced the change. You know, not to say there isn't bumps in the road. Of course there is.
Sure.
With any growth. However, I feel like that, you know, the management team and the staff team have worked really, really hard to minimize the impact on the clients and really sort of, you know, hit the ground running as far as taking on the challenge.
Agreed. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there any more you want to talk about Face Off for Mental Health this Thursday? What's going to be happening there? What you're doing?
So Thursday is just everybody's encouraged to wear green to the Legionnaires game.
Okay.
$10 each. Kids under 10 are free to get in.
Yep.
Nolene has made sure that there's green tape for both teams.
All
And
right.
there's going to be a puck drop with Ashlyn and little Nate Shortreed from Point Edward. So that's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be lots of photo ops.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Look at you. Yes. I have a toque. I have a toque for you. I just have to. Are you coming to the game on Thursday?
I'm going to be there. Yeah. So I'll look for you. And
I'll bring your toque.
Okay. I need super extra large.
No problem. I got you covevered.
Do you have pins
Craig,
too?
It fits Craig McKenzie, so if it fits him,
It'll be. I'm
probably going to get in trouble for saying that.
It's okay. We won't. We'll mute that part. Do you have pins too? I think last time you were here, you had some pins or something. Okay,
yep.
I gotta get.
I got you covered. I'll bring you some
That's
swag.
awesome. Liz, thank you so much, and you're welcome back here anytime. You got events
Dave.
going on or stuff you guys want to talk, because I really think it's important.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to say a big shout out too to our Face Off for Mental Health committee, like Kim Shaw and Tom Babcock, and the entire committee worked tirelessly this year. And I feel like we really sort of built on the momentum that we started last year, and I'm looking forward to next year already. Planet Stitch, they've been phenomenal. They gave us free helmet stickers, and I really, you know, I feel like we've got something special started, and other communities have started to ask about how they can grow it. Leamington, Cambridge, Kitchener, like there's interest from other communities. So pretty excited about that. Who knows where it'll lead? I'd love to see it become a provincial initiative or even bigger. So
I'd like to, I'll get in touch with you. I'd like to be more involved.
Okay. We'd love to have you.
Okay. Liz Page, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for your time here.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Liz Page from St. Clair Child and Youth Services. Fantastic agency. As I said, I used it as a teenage boy. I have no shame in saying that. It's you need someone to talk to. There's a walk-in clinic there. Go to stclairchild.ca to find out more about all the different services that are available. So check that out. And if you're here in Sarnia, get down to the Brock Street Barn for the Sarnia Legionnaires as they take on St. Mary's this Thursday night. Puck drop 7:05. I'm going to be there as well. And we hope we'll see you there as well. And, of course, Face Off for Mental Health. And it's just going to be great hockey, great fun, and supporting great things. Wow, look at that time flying by already. I think it's John Tiernay's fault. He talked more than anybody. I'm just kidding. Couple of things I need to share with you before we go. Let me find them here. I'm self-producing. Oh, yes, more giveaways. There we go. More giveaways. Mardi Gras party. What does that say to you? Sounds like a whole lot of fun, right? It's going to be happening out Courtright Silver Dome coming up in March. Why am I talking about it now? Because the tickets are already going fast. March the 2nd, 2019. Wow. And I have got, I think I got to pull them out right here. I wasn't prepared. Look at this. Here we go. I have, making all kinds of noise. I have tickets. Keel Simmons from Dress to Kill, who's putting on the party, gave me these tickets. I'm going to be giving them away. And look what else. their latest CD. It's called This Old Train. It's awesome, amazing. The horns, the guitars, everything's in there. And I've got a CD I'm going to be giving away as well. And it's over there. But a vinyl record album from Dress to Kill and This Old Train. I'll be giving that away. You got to follow along on the Facebook page for a chance to win that. I'm looking forward to the Mardi Gras party. I've never been to a Mardi Gras party. Could be fun. There's a copy of This Old Train. There's the artwork on there. It really is fantastic. Blues, rock blues. Yeah, they're just fantastic. Later on tonight, father versus son. I'll be live on Twitch as I try to win over my son Jason. He usually beats me. I think Golf with Friends, though, I stand a pretty good chance. So we're going to be streaming tonight on Twitch. Father versus son. Gonna be a good time. And if you can't watch me, but you can listen to me, we are now available on all of these, available on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. This podcast will be available. So I hope you'll follow along. Wow, having a lot of fun. Corinne, thank you so much for all your questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them, but the conversations were busy. So I do appreciate you watching, and I appreciate all of you for watching me, coming out here every week. If you'd like to be on the show, if you're local here in Sarnia Lambton and you've got a story or something positive you want to share or talk about, or maybe it's the entertainment, reach out to me. I'd love to have you on here. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.